What is up, you guys? It is Jake State Farm here with Atomic Theory, back with round 3 of the Atomic Chess League Season 2. This has been a great season. Just to recap what's happened so far, we started off with a very narrow win in round 1 against Team Death. That was a crazy round where there was a lot of ups and downs. It looked like we weren't going to win for a while, but we ended up winning. Which, by the way, if you are new to the channel or new to just the Atomic Chess League in general, it's based off of total win percentage. So even though we lost 3 matches, because I was able to get a 6-0, we were still able to win based off of having a 51% overall win percentage. Then in round 2, we went against a JBT team. And this time we pretty much dominated. Actually, RK Roundit and I didn't do as well. It was Maracker and Study that kind of carried us. Study was able to get a clutch 5-5 draw against their best player. And then so far for the third round, we are currently sitting at a 91% win rate here after RK Roundit just absolutely baptized Stinky Potato. And then I'm not sure what's going on. Quaza didn't show up to his match with Study, so I'm not sure how that one's going to get handled. But regardless, we are up against one of the GOATs of Atomic, especially one of the best players currently in Natso. So I'm super excited to bring this match to you guys. I know he just got home, so I'm just kind of waiting for him to challenge me right now. But yeah, overall, it's been a really fun season. I was really happy with my team. I got the second overall pick, and I was really happy to come away with RK Roundit, who I feel like is one of the best hyperbullet players in the world. As we saw, the only match he lost was against Maxwell, who is also one of the best hyper players in the world, and he lost 15.5, 14.5. So he's been great for the team all year. And then once I was able to get the other 2 guys as well, I mean, especially Maracker, I was really happy it fell to me. And then Study has been really clutch for the team as well. So overall, the team has been really good. And if we do somehow lose this match, we still have a chance to win if the JB team wins their match. Then it would be a 3-way tiebreak, and we could potentially win based off of win percentage if it got to that point. But for now, I'm thinking that we will probably win. And here is the match from Natso. So we're getting right into it, starting from the black side. We will be playing oh, he wants me to put it in Discord real quick. We will be playing up to 8 games. Obviously, if one of us clinches it before that, then we won't. But I'm going to put this in the Discord real quick. All right. I don't know if there's a way to do ping it as an ACL match or not, but overall, I wasn't able to do as much prep for him as I'd like to do, but I'm still super excited for this match. It's always super fun to get to play against a great player like Natso in a match setting like this, and I wonder if this is prep from his part. I have been playing this move C6 quite a bit lately, so he's taking his time here. We could see something like knight e5 or knight g5, and then bishop f4 would be the random player spam, and he does go for it. This line is tricky. If this is prep for me, I know that I normally play this move queen a5, so I'm trying to consider if I should play something else instead. I also think bishop g4 followed by e6 is a line, which I think I'll just go for that. After bishop c7, I can go queen f6. And after bishop d8, I'll go bishop b4, takes, and then probably knight f6, followed by maybe queen b1 or queen... I can't remember exactly what the prep is there after bishop takes f6, but I guess maybe e4 is a consideration here as well. Okay, interesting. Okay, so immediately I'm looking at knight a6. I think I'm going to go for this. I could just see a3 being played here, which makes a lot of sense. But if it doesn't go a3, I have potential for bishop a3 takes and knight b4. The nice thing about Natso is that I know from past experiences watching him play and playing against him, he doesn't really like to spam the same opening over and over again. So even if he completely crushes me here, we are likely to see a different opening for the next game. So that's one nice thing. Okay, I think I have to go g6 here. I was looking at this, but after queen takes g7, bishop takes g2, I think I'm just probably completely lost there. So, okay. I'm also looking at pawn h6 here. The idea being I can maybe threaten takes and then pawn takes here. I'm going to go for this. It may force out something like queen takes g6. So we're getting kind of a unique position here. I feel like normally when somebody plays this bishop f4 line, the black queen ends up coming off the board. But he's really played it in a way to where my queen is on the board, but he's also able to keep this really strong bishop. So I kind of like the way he's played it here. Interesting. Now this move is a bit less intriguing because then he could play something like queen e5, although I did not have bishop f5. Oh wait, no, that's just, never mind, I'm stupid. Okay. Also, this move makes some sense. After takes queen f4, if e3, it's tricky. So I don't really want to move this bishop, but could also take here, or even something like rook c8 just to go ahead and get this started, like potentially threatening a move like c5. I think I am going to go for this. I feel like I'll probably see e4, but I don't hate this move because then after queen f4, now he's forced to take. He no longer has this move pawn e3 anymore. And now I'll go knight f6. Definitely still prefer his position. Even like knight b5 could be really strong here. But yeah, this bishop is kind of a menace right now. Yeah, if knight b5, I was thinking bishop d2 and takes, but then there would have been bishop b5 there. So yeah, and this bishop, when it's one square away from the king like this, is just so strong. Okay. So at this point, I think he's completely destroying me. So now the question becomes, what kind of scams do I have? Is there any, crazy thing I can go for that he's not expecting? Like thinking something along the lines of c5. I think I need to start with takes first, then maybe b5 and c5. If I started with c5, he had bishop b5. If I started with b5, then he probably could have just taken that. So I'll take first, kind of play it slow. But really, he honestly can take here and roll the d pawn. I guess I'd have to go knight d5 there if he went for that. But also potentially rolling the f pawn, but I mean, if he does, he'd have to start with h3, I think. So maybe it's a little slow because h3, there's potential for knight h5, and then I can still hop in here. I'm actually pretty happy with this move because it takes away all these knight b5 threats. And I'm technically not down material, so if I could trade everything off, which is unlikely to happen at this point, but if I could, then my position would be doing okay. Okay, also super weird move, knight c7. I really want to go c5, but I'd have to start with b5. After knight h5, he could play f4. Like rook g8, f5 there, f6. Okay, wait, I actually think I would... If it was that line exactly, I don't think he'll go for it, but in that line exactly, f4, rook g8. With the idea of if he goes here, I could take, and this rook is controlling this. But here, I think I technically have this, because after f6, I'd have knight e2, king b1, takes f7, king d7. As crazy as it looks. I may be completely lost there, but I'm surviving at least. There's no f8 queen because I could just take it off the board, so you'd have to go for something like this. But then at that point, this pawn is really scary, so maybe it would still just be completely lost for me. So maybe f5, I do just need to take it off the board. Okay, wow, and he sees my threat there. That's pretty impressive. Now I'm going to go b5. If he takes this, I'm maybe getting some counterplay here with an idea of like king d7. It's kind of still hopeless, but... Okay, this does open up c5, though. The question is, like, how am I even surviving this, though? He's going to go d5, and I have to play e5. I have to push one of these pawns, because after d5, I want to be able to play e5. There's technically no takes here, but yeah, that's pretty rough. Okay, I guess c4. I just don't want to allow this after bishop c6. I have to take this, and then here I have to go e5. This game I've just been fighting from behind the entire time since the opening. Okay. This knight does control this square and hits b4, which is nice. Could even go knight b8 if he doesn't go rook d5, because then I'd have a5 potential. Yeah, if here I could go a5. Oh, wow. He's just found a way to guarantee a win, or is that a mistake? Now I can roll this pawn, though. This is really unclear. If rook takes, I want to get my knight here. Oh, wow. He just messed that up badly. Wow. Okay, we did not deserve to win that game, but we got the job done against the GOAT Natso, and now we get to show off some of our insane prep. Knight c3. Let's see if he goes e6 or knight f6 here. Okay, goes for e6. I'm going to play this move d4, and I'm so excited to see what he does. Again, his main moves are either bishop b4 or knight c6. He normally plays bishop b4, but I kind of think that he'll know that I'm expecting bishop b4, because he plays this almost 90% of the time. So I almost think he'll play knight c6 just to try to throw me off a little bit. Other than that, he really doesn't play anything besides bishop b4 knight c6, but I wouldn't be surprised. And yes, we correctly predicted this move, knight c6, and my strategy here is to just wait a few seconds to make him think that I was expecting bishop b4, because again, he plays bishop b4 a large percentage of the time. And at this point, I have 20 plus moves of prep in some of these lines, but I really want him to think that I'm surprised. So I'll play e4, seems like a natural move, and then queen h4 is his main move. Gotta go g3. Let's see if he goes queen g4, queen h5. It's a big decision, although he probably doesn't think it is. And wow, he goes for knight to b4 instead. Okay. This move I was not expecting at all. Initially, I'm looking at queen h5. It seems like it just has to be queen h5. I don't really see another option, to be honest. I'm going to go queen h5. If g6, I have queen c5, so he's got to take that. Interesting. I am really, really shocked by that. I think I'll have knight d5 here, because in these positions, you can never take here, because I've got bishop h3 coming on this diagonal here. So, okay, goes for this. I know there's ideas of bishop b5, knight c7 in positions like this. I don't know if it's this exact position or not. Well, I know it's not this exact position, because I didn't prep this exact position, but I'm trying to look and see if that would work here or not. I could also play just a solid move in f3, which kind of sets up knight h3. The problem is after f3, there is potential for takes. But then knight h3, knight g4 here. Here, takes. And then I could go bishop b5, but then he could take a3, he could take. So I actually don't think f3 is the right move. So I'm just going to go for this. This is something closer to what I would have prepped. And at this point, I'm willing to sacrifice this rook. And I actually feel somewhat comfortable in this position just because I know the ideas. There's some 98, 96 ideas. There's also d5 is a huge idea in these positions. So I'm trying to think if I should just go ahead and go for it. After d5, if bishop c5, what's my idea? I'm not seeing it, to be honest. I'm also kind of tempted for knight h3. After here, I could just simply take and kind of gain a tempo in castling. There's also, I'm trying to think about what I would do if he went here as well. But I know d5 is a big idea. So I want to set that up. I guess d5, bishop c5, I'll just have bishop e3. Okay. Now I'm not really scared of takes here anymore. Okay, going for this, but there's some ideas of knight e8 followed by bishop a4 with an idea of taking here. Obviously, knight e8 hits this, so he's got to push the g-pawn. And then I know there's some bishop a4 ideas because this is kind of transposing into a similar-ish position. But the question is, after bishop a4, okay, wow, he's going for this instead. This is really surprising, actually. So, like, yeah, okay, I'm going to go for bishop e3. If b6, bishop a4, there's obviously no b5 because then I'll take here. If bishop a6, then I can take, and I'm still threatening this. Okay, yeah, I think it's bishop a4 here, no? If here takes... Okay, that is not very nice. But knight e5, castling ideas. Oh, maybe I should have gone... Oh, I probably should have gone knight h3 because now I'm completely missed this idea of bishop h3. Yeah. That move is not fun. Okay, this is really not turned into the position that I wanted. Yeah, I should have played knight h3. I wanted to get knight f5 in, but now there's also just bishop takes. I wanted to play this move to stop him from playing f5, but hindsight, maybe I just shouldn't have even gone for that. Yeah, I really wish I'd gone knight h3 because this bishop h3 move is kind of killer, actually. Okay, we are way down on the clock. Yeah, that's frustrating that he didn't. I know he at least didn't play what he normally plays, but also I think knight b4 is a mistake there, but I don't know off the top of my head how to capitalize on it. Okay, I guess king d1. I mean, I want to get my rook involved. I also want to play knight f5. I kind of want this bishop to make a decision on what it's doing. So I can either go knight f5 or rook d1, but right now it's just so well placed. I really messed up by going knight f3 instead of knight h3, I think. Bishop g4, I'll just go king c1. There's still technically life here. I mean, I could still even sack this knight and then play rook d1 if I get my king over to c1. Although then there's bishop a3 ideas, and this pawn is rolling really fast. So actually after bishop g4, I may have to go king e back to e1, which would be really frustrating. Maybe I should have gone f2 instead. Yeah, after this, I don't know if I can go king c1. Actually, that was my plan, but after bishop a3, I have to take it, and even just like a4 is very scary. Okay, whoa. Ooh, gotta make a move. I want to play e5 here. Now, after bishop g4, I have to go king c1. I'll be so happy if he takes this, but I don't think he will. Okay, if takes bishop b, it's almost winning. Okay, now I get my other knight in. Wow, this is tense. I can come here with a tempo and then get this bishop in. He may be just getting mated here. I think he's got to go like rook d8 to just stop everything I've got going on here. But it's still scary for him. I think he got out though. Okay, now the question is, can I make a draw here? I think I must have messed up there because at some point I had a huge attack brewing, but... Okay, I'm going to go here to open this up. I think I can make a draw now. Yeah, okay. Now it's just a clean draw. All right. Wow. Okay, that was an insane game, dude. Holy moly. All right, let's see what he's got here from the white side this time. Okay, well, let's see if he does go over this G4 line, and he does. And once again, I'm gonna pause here for a few seconds just because I'm very confident in my prep. Hopefully, he plays something relatively normal here. I'm gonna go ahead and go knight c6 now, but I want him to think that I haven't prepped this, right? He doesn't know if I've prepped him or not. Obviously, if this was something like AWC, he would know that I've prepped all of his stuff, but okay, wow, and he does play this move c3, which is the best move. Now, I know according to the computer, the best move is a6, so I'm just going to go for it. But I'll be honest, this is all I looked at because the only other time that he had this position, he played knight a3, which is also a very respectable move. And so I just kind of assumed that he would go knight a3, so that's where all my prep was. After c3, I had checked a couple things, but honestly, off the top of my head, I don't really remember. And this is definitely a scary move. Maybe I should have played e5 instead, because after bishop g2, then there's e4, I think. But now, there's a big question. If I go e5 now, the question is after knight b5, what do I do? If takes, is f5 ever a possibility there? It seems like I'm just completely lost. So I've got to think about this. Maybe d5 is the move? I actually really like this move, d5. After knight b5, I'll just go down a pawn. Interesting, he doesn't want to go up a pawn. I could also go e5 here. F takes f5, and I get a little bit of initiative there. Could also go e6. I actually really like e6. Then if bishop takes, I'd have queen d5, which is really strong. So let's go e6 now, actually. And I guess his idea is to just basically say my pieces are misplaced. That's why he played knight e6. It's just basically telling me that these pieces are misplaced, which is fair enough. I agree with you on that, Natso. Okay. I really want to play e5 because it threatens knight b4, but after e5, he can simply just take. So I'm going to go knight a5 instead. Probably we'll see b3. And now I think it's kind of his. Okay, interesting. He goes for this instead. Allowing knight c4, takes queen d5. I'm guessing e4. And yeah, I guess after queen c4, I don't have anything. But I can play this move c6. And now I think this is a threat. Maybe we'll just see e4. But now knight c4 takes queen d5, and after e4, queen c4, there's no longer queen a4 with check. So he'd have to do something like queen d3, and at the very least I could take here and get my material back. But honestly, this knight is not too misplaced. I mean, I guess b4 is a threat, but again, if b4, okay, he just goes for e4, which is probably the best move, honestly. I need to speed up a little bit here because he is playing really fast in a position that I know for a fact that he's never seen before. It's just so impressive about Natso. He's really quick on the clock. Okay. This move bishop e7 has to be wrong, but I'm going to play it anyway. If he takes here, it's opening up knight c4, so he can't really take. He's just going to try to get a huge majority over here. I'm going to go f5, just opening this bishop up. If g5, then I'm very happy to play knight g4, e takes, and then knight c4. Although then there's maybe bishop takes, queen d5, queen e4, but is that a draw? Can I make a draw there with queen c4 and a perpetual? Because if king h1, I'll have queen e2, and if rook f3, I'll have queen takes. So the idea is, this move g5 makes sense, cutting off bishop takes h4 here. Because honestly, bishop takes h4 is a big threat. Okay, wow, and he goes for this instead. But now I'm really tempted to go bishop takes h4. Then I'll definitely see f5. Or do I start with knight f5? I really want to go. Wait, no. If I go here, he can't. I'm stupid. He can't. Wow, and even queen e5 doesn't work. Queen h4, and there's no way to threaten mate. So he has to play g5. It's his only move, but he's just allowing knight g4 now. I think that was a mistake. And knight g4 also critically defends this e5 square. Okay, yeah, this had to be a blunder because now he's got to go g5. I can go knight g4 instead of h6 and get this rook open. We actually have a very nice position to play from the black side. Not to mention, knight c4 is still always a threat here. Obviously, he's hitting d5. Well, it goes for f5. There's no way. Oh, but he can take. Wow, I just completely missed that. Queen h4, there's takes. Okay, so I guess... Yeah, that's... Totally did not see that. Okay. I mean, rook f8 is a possibility. I guess I probably have to play it now. Just pinning this pawn to his rook. But let's see if he has anything. Like, if he plays like something like rook f4 here. No, there's no way. I can just take. But now f6, and I don't like my position as much as I thought I did. I thought he had to play g5. I totally missed that this move f5 works. Okay, but f6, maybe queen c7. And after, you know, bishop f4, knight g4, rook f4, maybe some g5 potential, although there's queen h5 there, so I can't do that just quite yet. But it's still unclear. He doesn't want to go g5 really because there's knight e4, or knight g4 rather, which is really strong. But f6, queen c7, and maybe I'm okay. I mean, yeah, he can go f7, king d8, but oh wow. How is he finding these insane moves? Holy moly. Yeah, and now rook h5 doesn't work anymore. Oh wow, what a good move. See, when he finds these good moves, I'm like, why did it take you so long to find that? Now, if you're going to play that, man, it's such a good move. All right, he got me on that one. Well played. Queen e5 is such an insane move. I'm going to go back to this. I'm going to go back to knight c3. I think I'll probably go to something else for my third white game, but I'm going to try this and just see what he's got. He's going back to e6. Let's see if he goes knight c6 again. Okay, he's going for this again, but it'll give me some time to think after queen h4. I know this move. Okay, and he goes for queen h5. Now I'm going to play knight f3. And now I think I do know the prep after knight b4. I can just go g4 there. Or no, I know I have to start knight d5. Yeah, now it's knight d5, right? Yeah, this is right, I think. And if takes, now I have knight g5, and this is somewhat transposing into the last line, but okay, again, he's played something different than what I thought he would play here. Bishop b5 I could have gone for. I'm not really sure. I guess it's gotta be this. And then I'll play either f3 or g4 at the end of this. But again, this is not quite what I had prepped. Which I know it's wrong because he's not supposed to be able to get this bishop here. Come on, Natso, why are you not playing what I prepped for you? Oh wait, I have just knight f7 here. Okay. Okay, I knew he had messed up, like, because I did the prep and I knew he had messed up, but I didn't realize what I had. And now I have this common idea in this line. Yeah, and actually, I mean, I'm sure he'll push his d pawn here, but even like rook c1, I don't even necessarily have to take here. Rook c1 is just really strong here. So yeah, he's definitely messed up. I kind of want to just play rook g1 because if he goes g5, I can just take. So I'm just going to go rook c1 here. This game may be ending very quickly here. Yeah, I got frustrated there for a second because I knew he had played it wrong, but I didn't know quite how. And there we go. We are up 2.5, 1.5 against one of the absolute goats of Atomic. And okay, he's going back to this line. Should I go back for d5 or I'm wondering if I should play something else. I mean, I know b5 is a move as well. I'll be honest, I didn't love the position that I got last time, and I think that he knows that. But I can also, if he goes back for random spam, I can definitely switch it up a little bit. Okay, going back for this. Like, I normally play queen a5, but I would think that he would have prepped this. I also know that queen a5 is just, like, not the most accurate line in general. I think I can start e6 as well. I'm going to go for this. I know going bishop g4 and then e6 is an option, but I also think you can start e6. That's the one thing I like about this line, is there are a bunch of options. I'll be honest, my prep against random spam is pretty weak. So I think it's a good decision that he's playing this against me. Okay. Goes for pawn to e3. I kind of want to start with this because I want to go knight f6, but then after bishop c7, maybe I'd have knight g4 there, but it looks not great. So let's just start with this. There's none of these ideas. I can just cut all that off. So I'm thinking ahead to next game. I think I'm going to try a different line against him next game, just to switch it up a little bit, partly for the viewers. But I do think that he is kind of, unsure of what to do in those positions. I think I've kind of got him a little bit flustered there. I've prepped something that he certainly seems to not know very well. Okay, knight f6 maybe is really the only move, because if I go, say, queen takes, then there's just bishop takes here, and I really have no idea. So this may be losing, but it's kind of my own idea. I know after queen h6, I can come here with this double attack. But I'm thinking after bishop c7, I'll have to do something really weird like queen d7, and then after bishop b5, there's a chance I'm just completely toast. But I have to play something to try to create chances here, because, otherwise it's just hopeless. So this is one of those situations where maybe queen h4 was the right move, but I'm going to go for the weird line instead. Okay. So now I don't have this idea anymore, so I think h5 is a possibility. Also, h6 is probably better. Like, I want to push these pawns, but h5 does allow something like queen g5, which is very scary. So now I'm looking at g5, queen h3, knight g4, but then there's queen h5. I can also go g5, queen h3, and then just retreat my queen. I think that's what I'll do, because this g5 also holds this key f4 square, which is very valuable. But yeah, after queen h3, I don't really want to overextend with g4, because then the queen can just kind of sit on h4. But I also definitely don't want to go knight g4, because there's just queen h5, which is completely losing. So instead, I'll probably make some queen move, like queen d8, queen c8, queen c7. Oh yeah, queen c7 actually is pretty nice. Hits all of this. Wait, I kind of just completely missed that he can go queen g3 here, which seems to be really good. At that point, I'd have to castle. Queen c7. Yeah, I don't know why I just completely missed that move. I have to castle because he was threatening queen b8, really. And if queen c8, like queen c7. So now he can go queen c7. He can also go queen d6. It's kind of all good. I don't know. Maybe g5 was the wrong move, actually. Okay, wow. I didn't consider that move at all. Okay, so probably queen d8 here. I don't really understand this move. Seems like something like queen d6 would have been more forcing, because I probably would have had to take that. If king h8, he's just got queen e7. I don't know. I guess he's trying to pin this knight and really ask me how, but I can go queen a5. Like, this is looking pretty good. Okay, wait. Bishop a3 takes queen b6. He has to go... Oh, he can go bishop b5. Never mind. This almost works. Here takes queen a5. He's got to then go a3. And then c5. I mean, it's very close. I may as well go for it, right? There's no reason not to go for it. And also, If he ever goes queen d, if he goes queen d6 here, I can just go king h8. Very important that I go, yeah, queen c7 doesn't hit anything here as well. So, okay. How about c5? Then there is queen c7. But I can't really go rook c8. I can't move my knight. Yeah, to be honest, I was really counting on c5, but then there's just queen c7 there. Okay, what about this really weird move, rook f8? Or rook f7, rather. Yeah, even if queen b8, I could go knight e8, and it actually defends c7 as well. Just trying to stop queen c7. Just trying to keep chaos on the board as much as possible. Again, I may be completely losing here, but wanting to just have some chaos. Okay, now c5. Don't really understand this move at all. Like, at all, unless I'm just completely missing some big idea that he's got. Okay, now I have some queen b4 ideas. Although, queen d6 just wins now. Oh, wait, no, I have queen a4. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. I think I just scammed him again. Wow, that is incredible. Okay, let's switch it up this time. Let's start with knight f3. I need to win one more game and I will win the match, which I honestly never thought I would say that playing against Natso, but here we go. Let's go for this line. Let's see what he's got. He'll either go b5 or knight a6. Okay, and immediately goes for b5. This is a line that I looked at beforehand and it seemed like I could maybe get somewhat of an advantage here, but it's also a line that I just don't know at all. So, okay, e4 is what he plays here, and then I'll probably go pawn to h3. And then I'm pretty much just on my own after that. I know knight h2 I have to take. He could also go bishop b7 here. Or no, h5 is the other move. Yeah, h5 is the move. And then I think it's, oh yeah, then it's knight e7, bishop b7, and h takes. Yeah, okay. Oh, unless I am wrong. I don't think knight f2 is what he played last time. I guess the point is queen g4. Okay, it's going to kind of transpose, though, after queen g4, I think. You can go d5 here. This position is really common. It's not... white's up a bishop and a pawn, but it's actually pretty scary for white. I wanted to play this just because I know that he won't be expecting it, but honestly, I really have no idea what I'm doing. Okay. I've looked at this like a long time ago, but it's been so long. I actually think bishop e2 is an idea. After d4, like, you can maybe run with your bishop. Or I guess I wouldn't have to after d4. But yeah, obviously queenside castles, and then there's like pushing a c-pawn as well. It's either b4, a4 probably is what I want to go for. Also, d3 is, I guess, potentially a little scary. Okay, but if d3, then I could go bishop h5 and c3, and I'd be okay there. Because actually, it's quite tough. Even though this pawn is locked in here, it's quite tough for the knight to reach this pawn with this setup, especially with this pawn on e4 here. Okay. Now potentially threatening something like this. I really kind of think I'm just lost here. So if it takes... No, actually it's fine, because if he ever takes... It's actually totally okay, because... If he's ever going to take... I'll always have castles, because it's knights off the board. So let me do this, opening up the rook. What in the world? Oh my gosh. He played that way too fast for it to be a mistake. Okay, I think I want to go d4 here. So if castles, he has rook takes h3. And I don't really see a way. But if I go d4 takes castles, then I have potential to get my pieces out a bit more. So I think I have to start d4. Even though it looks really scary, I think I do have to start with this. because I really want to stop this rook takes h3 idea. Now if rook takes h3, I'll have a bunch of open files to get my rook on. Although, I'm trying to think if I... Uh-oh. It's got to be rook e1, yeah? Rook e1, he's got rook d2. I gotta go rook e2. I'll just see what he's got here. It's probably losing somewhere or the other. Like rook d2, rook e1. Oh, you can't go there because my bishop defends. It's unclear. The other sad part is this rook isn't actually that good, because if I go rook a6, he could always just respond with c6, so I really have like almost no counterplay. Okay, yeah, that just works. Okay, no way I'm winning this race. All right, well played. So it looks like for the final game, if he wins this game, it'll be 3.5, 3.5. And for the final game, there's a couple different lines. I could go back to knight c3. I could also go for like knight h3, e4. I had studied that a little bit, and he, you know, doesn't do too well against it, but okay. I really want to go b5, actually, opening up this bishop and cutting off his queen. But honestly, even if I lose these last two games, I'll be really happy with the result. Natso's one of those guys, as you can see, has a good win rate against me. And honestly, especially recently, he's just been absolutely mopping the floor with me. So to be able to even get 3.5 games off of him, granted, I know he's not been prepping that much for this. It seems like his results haven't been like up to par with what he's capable of in the Atomic Chess League. By the way, this is already a little scary for him. He's got to push his e-pawn. Otherwise, like if b3, I would have had bishop a6, and no matter what, I'm getting in b3, which I think I just want to go for. Really opening up some ideas of queen a5, bishop b4, so this c-pawn ends up being really crucial as well. Okay. Looking at bishop a6, the question is, would I rather just... I think I just want to trade off this dark squared bishop. Yes, I'm giving up bishop b4 ideas, but also, if you think about it, I don't need my dark squared bishop as much to defend, considering his is really boxed in here, so... Already, I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed in this position. It seems not great. I have a long-term plan of knight a6, knight b4, queen a5, but it takes a few moves to set up. I guess playing c6, the first move of the combination, doesn't really hurt. Just opening up queen a5 and just kind of making him make a decision here. Okay, if I go knight a6, he really can't take this because I have bishop a6, so he's got to go like a5 to set up, take like knight b4 takes and stopping queen a5. But knight a6, a5, like I'm pretty happy to be able to get my knight out, whereas he's playing a completely defensive move. Like a5 doesn't do anything offensively for him. The other square that it does cut off here is b6 though, which is kind of annoying. Okay, honestly, just didn't expect that move at all, but it's a good move. Setting up queen h5. I can go knight f6 here, and after knight g5 takes... Yeah, I mean, I think I just want to go for this. I think I just want to sacrifice. Getting the rook open can be a little scary for him. It'll make castling really hard, and really he'll probably end up playing rook f1 in this position, and I'll always have these queen a5 ideas in this position. So that's going to be kind of what I end up going for here. If he goes a5, then I'll need to readjust and find another plan here. But for now, just keeping this rook. Okay, and I thought he might do this, but honestly, I think I can just go f6, because I could also go queen a5, but then I'm stopping knight a6 because it's got bishop a6 there. f6 isn't bad because it's stopping any like queen f3, rook f1 things with a tempo. And yes, I also thought after bishop h6, there's no queen h5 here because I can just take. And honestly, I'm looking at e5 here, getting my bishop out, because if I go knight a6, then he's got queen g4 here. Okay, but actually, it's not even that big of a threat because my rook is defending all these squares that he could come into. But I'm still going to go e5, just opening up this bishop. Really, I could have gone knight a6, but after queen g4, knight b4, I was looking at maybe queenside castles. And I don't have knight d3, there's just bishop takes. I want to put pressure on this pawn, but I wasn't sure how to do it. Maybe I had something there, but this I really like because now my bishop is guarding this square. So his queen can't be pinning this pawn to my bishop anymore. And I'm actually kind of liking this. Again, I don't think he can take. Okay, I don't have bishop a6 immediately, sure, but I think he's really got to go a5 here. Which now that I think about it, I could have also taken here. Setting up queen b6, also potentially forcing him to play a5. Okay, goes for it. I can go queen e7, also hitting this square. Queen e7, bishop f8. And where can I go from there? Also considering just f5. Okay, let's go f5. I kind of like this. He'll probably go bishop g5, and then I can go queen d7. Okay, wow. That's actually pretty strong. That's a really good move. Oh boy. That move I did not see at all. Got to run with the king at this point. It's the only way. Yeah, bishop h5 I can't take because it's queen h5. I don't really have another way to guard this h5 square. So, okay, he does end up castling. But at this point, seems to be pretty well defended from most of my attacks. I'm just going to keep running. I've got to open up this bishop as well. Like bishop b5, I could just go king b8 there. Okay. I'll do this. If he takes, I have some like ideas of opening up my queen, but yeah, this is pretty hopeless. Rook f7, and it's I mean, I guess knight c5 is one idea, but the position is pretty hopeless. Overall, looking at this match, I've kind of scanned him out of 2 games that I definitely should not have won. So I've gotten relatively lucky. Yeah, if he sees bishop b5, it's... Well, actually, I will say I could unpin my queen, though. Yeah, I gotta take that. And now if takes, it's just over. Not sure why he hasn't taken yet. The only thing I can hope is that he like blunders with bishop c7. Okay. All right. Here we are. 3.5, 3.5. Let's go back to the bread and butter. Knight to c3. He's never played knight f6 this whole match. He's going back to this. Let's see what we get from this position here. Okay. Going back to this same line that we've seen a couple times now. We're going to go knight f3. Maybe he'll adjust with knight f6 this time. No, goes back to this line. But it's losing after knight takes c2. We saw that last time, that it's got to be just completely losing because I don't have knight g5. So let's see how he adjusts here. I guess maybe he's planning on queen takes g5 this time. But this still feels really bad. I can go bishop b5, c6, knight c7, which is the normal plan in this line, but I could also go for knight e7. A little bit tempted by that as well. I guess I need to start bishop b5 no matter what. But I'm really considering this move, knight e7. There's also knight c7. So that is knight c7, king d8, and then I think it's castles. But I don't think this bishop's supposed to get in, so I feel like it's a different line. It's making me consider maybe knight e7. I'm just going to go knight e7. It seems like the right move. My prep is telling me to go knight c7, but I'm just thinking it may have been a different line. I mean, I have a really clear plan. Well, I can't talk. A very clear plan of just rook c1 here. So, yeah, he's got to get the knight out. And then it's either f3 or g4. Like, it doesn't matter too much. I know f3, there may be g6, bishop h6, so I lean towards g4. I guess it allows h5, but it seems a bit slow. Like, getting this bishop out is really necessary, because otherwise, like h5, I was thinking just rook c1 now. Because if takes, knight g4 here, takes, I just have rook c7. So let's see what he's got here. That's why I played this, because if I played f3 instead, g6, rook c1, bishop h6, and now after takes, his bishop's coming in. And he really wants to get his bishop out anyway, because then he can castle. With the bishop here, I could just take and go rook c7. So let's see what he's got planned here. I think takes just loses here. But we'll see. And his bishop can't ever come out this way. At this point, g6 has got to be too slow. Okay, but why can't I just take here? I don't understand. Okay, wow. Takes, knight g4, f3, takes, knight here, rook here, there. But then I have knight g6 at the end. No, I think I'm okay. Knight g6 hitting the... Okay, wow. But this can't be any better. I still have rook c7. Holy moly. It's Natso, man. He's going to find a way to make it tricky. Okay, immediately d5 comes to mind, because then we'll just have the same position. Yeah, let me go d5. And then, oh wow, e5, d6. And it's still stopping king f7, because then I have, oh my gosh, whoa. This is crazy. Because rook h3, rook c7, king here, and I'll have knight g6. And I'll be hitting this bishop. Yeah, I think this just works. Holy moly. That is insane. I don't think he has anything here. I legitimately do not see any options for him. I think he's just toast. Yeah, I mean, even if he starts king f7, I'll just have knight g6 there. Wow. And actually, no matter what, I can actually just start with knight g6. I don't have to go rook c7 first. Well, yeah, actually, it's very important. Okay, I was actually wrong, because if I start rook c7 here and then knight g6, he can take. So I have to start knight g6, actually. Which means maybe I'm... So knight g6. So maybe d6 wasn't the right move. Okay, knight g6. He's got to take. But then this square is still open for him. Holy moly. Okay. I mean, I will have f3 to cut off his rook, but then there's like rook h4, and it's kind of scary, so... I guess it's... Like, the other thing is... Is there ever a world in which I just start with f3? I kind of like this, because if rook h4, I'm looking at knight g6 takes, rook c7, and then knight takes here, actually. So he could take... Okay, it goes for this instead. Okay, that's actually kind of smart. Now he can move his bishop out this way. So maybe I should have started with knight g6, then it would have forced this, and then I could have played f3. But whatever, we went for this way instead. I mean, I'm feeling like it has to be this. The nice thing is, even if he takes here, I have some potential to roll my pawns down the board here. Like, he can go up a pawn here, but I do have some potential to just roll the pawns down. And actually, it's not clear how this bishop is getting over. If e4, I can just go knight e4 here, but then am I losing that pawn race? Probably. So I guess I have to go this way. But maybe I should have at least tried, because now it's probably hopeless, right? But I think it was just hopeless either way at that point. Wow, what a game by Natso. That was well played. I really thought I had him after this move d6. I kind of missed all of his ideas. Yeah, well played. Wow, great match to my opponent there. yeah, came back with 3 straight wins to take the match victory. But like I said, overall, I'm happy with how I was able to play. I'm curious. Okay, so 97 was the right idea, but it's like very equal. I was kind of surprised. Yeah, at this point, I just thought I was completely winning, and he had to find 95. That's such an incredible find, opening up F5. It's very crazy. And then I just played D6 so quickly. I thought D6 was completely winning, but it clearly wasn't. But anyway, we're going to move right on to our Atomic 960 match. I appreciate y'all watching, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out.